風をさいて翼のように夢を描くよ時代静止進む黒宝というお嬢探しに行こう島の影鋼の帆で希望を揺らして海賊の笑顔自由の証今日もごちそう仲間と笑顔
Evening all, we're back with our Fabula Ultima bullshit again. It's a good game, we're enjoying it, so we'll be keeping going for a while. Honestly, my head isn't quite in it today with everything going on in the States, but I figure escapism is important, and we'll provide a little bit of that. Also, my back is giving me jips, so this may not be the full 4 hours. We might cap out at 3. We'll see how things go. Well, let's bring in the players and then remind ourselves where we were. Six players, the old recommended number for D&D.
Hello, everybody.
Now it's a full party, yes, with backups in case a thief touches a live wire or something.
We don't have any thieves here, except maybe Val.
Hey, now
Or Devlin.
He's not a thief. He's more like a scoundrel.
It's a mugger.
Isn't that like a first level thief in first edition?
I
Or
don't think
advanced?
so. I think it's like some other title. I always like the titles they use.
I don't remember the titles from first edition D&D anymore, but I always did like them, though. I thought that was part of a cool thing, just because you could say, "Oh, my character is a Myrmidon," and everybody would know, "Oh, he's a 5th level or 6th level,"
or a Greek mercenary.
Well, I don't know. I mean, when you were like playing a monk and you were the Grand Master of Flowers, people knew to get the hell out of your way. They knew that title.
Maybe.
Or
Some
the
of them didn't
Archdruid.
make a lot of sense, though. Yeah. All right. So last time you were swallowed by an enormous sky whale while hunting a different whale that you thought was the enormous sky whale that you were supposed to kill. You had been horribly misled by the crippled pirate and ended up in its gut, where you found an island of survivors from ships that had been previously swallowed, camped out on the thing's stomach. Their leader, the Admiral, was perfectly willing to entertain any bright ideas you might have on how to escape, and you hit on the cunning plan of using Neil's terrible cooking to get you out of there. I think that's right.
Were the plans any better with the absence of foul?
I mean,
Nope,
they were more
I get
focused.
Were the what any better?
Were
Plans.
things.
Well, I mean, I actually got to do a plan, so that was an improvement.
But to execute Neil's plan, you need a lot of ingredients, which we abstracted. Sorry, Neil's plan. We you need a lot of ingredients, which you abstracted out into money. So you compensated a lot of the wrecked sailors for whatever ingredients they were able to scrape together. Took whatever you could from your personal resources and the resources on your ship, which is still skyworthy, but you still need more. And the admiral suggested that there may be recoverable treasures, useful substances, and so on down in the beast's gut. Bless you.
Thank you.
So you were headed butlers to try and take what you could from the creature's guts. Though the admiral did warn you that there are parasites and other horrible things down there.
Okay.
And then Kiss showed up to start playing dun 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 Parasite Baby.
I noticed a new crew member who's on the away team, and since I've been down and actually I've been having visions of how to survive, and lo and behold, I've been inspired to create all types of toys and interesting things for you folks. And with that, he tosses Devlin a double-barreled adaptive shotgun that is able to switch damage between shots as he pumps. There's a new, what is it called? What do you put your sword in? Sheath. Scabbard, thank you. And that will actually store spells as you cast them. But you better cast it before you try to put another one in. What was the other? Oh, and then this awesome. So I noticed that our resident chef only had a knife to fight with. So I beefed up his wok. Well, at one point, you went after your physical abilities. Well, you ran out of your magic points to do all your other things, so I created this for you. And this is a wok that will allow you to bang on people and inflict various types of damage in between. And then for our new guardian, I've created a sigil of the Crimson Covenant. It's an ability that 3 times per scene, when you take any kind of damage, you may redirect half of it as a hit point heal to one ally in the same zone, but you still suffer full damage.
Nell just kind of looks at the walk and says, "Clearly you have mistaken me for Rowan."
Well, it's good for clobbering people. But anyway, yes. Weapons. 200 weapons use both hand slots. 100 weapons use either hand slot. Oh dear, we lost someone. Accessories take the accessory slot. It's JRPG rules, so you can only really have one thing in a slot at a time. You got an armor slot, ring slot.
So the thing for the Guardian is a sigil. I just put it on his shield or armor.
Yeah, but it will essentially replace his shield.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But he can still thematically have the shield.
Yeah, it's an upgraded shield, so it'll be a shield with that power now.
Sure.
Okay. Just, JRPG rules, so kind of silly, but what the hell, we're going with it. All right. So the Admiral arranges for one of the survivors from Marrow Point to take you downwards. They lower a launch down into the water, a wooden boat covered with a thin coating of metal. When it touches the water, it makes slightly unsettling hissing and bubbling noises, and there's a smell like hot metal that comes off it. He has a very, very long barge pole. I'll take you down to where down really starts.
Well, let's get started then, shall we?
Yeah,
The rock and the
yeah,
boat.
yeah. Before
Yes.
you go down there, yeah.
Yes.
I made these, and he hands you a bunch of pieces of paper with like kids' drawings on them.
Oh, thanks. I'll hang these up in the kitchen.
No. They're what do you call it? Schematics of the inside of the thing. So I did a communion with the beast, and this is what his inside looks like. So if you follow this, and I point down one of them, it shows how the intestines is laid out. That we can go to the spots. Hopefully, maybe we can avoid some of the messiness.
Hmm.
And I give them all over to him.
Worth a try. I don't suppose you've seen Rowan around, have you? Because we might need him down here.
He's on the ship back up there.
Should we get him?
I.e., you want me to change characters?
It's up to you. It just sounds like it's a combat-heavy scenario.
I thought we weren't doing that. That you were stuck with the kid.
Well, it's early on in the game, so it's not like
It's
But it's up to you. I mean, I'm just asking.
stick with Quinn. He can
Okay.
He can set fire to some clouds of methane or something. That'll be fun for everyone.
Oh, that'll be yeah. Let's get blasted out of the Leviathan's ass at 400 miles an hour. We have just developed rocketry.
All right, a heist in a whale's bottom should be called the rim job, really, I suppose, shouldn't it?
Oh,
All right,
Operation Venus.
all right. The sailor tightens his breath mask around his gob and starts punting his way across the Leviathan's stomach. By the time you get to the other side, floating past partially digested ships and aerial fish and God knows what else, some things are unrecognizable. By the time he gets to the rear of the beast's stomach, his punt pole is a lot shorter than it was when you started, and the end is bubbling and hissing and being eaten away by the stomach acid. Here we are. Moist land, dry land, not exactly, but moist land. Once you get down through there, that's where you'll find all the treasures.
Well, I'll hop off the ship, taking point.
The sailor drags his little launch up onto the side, and you're on this kind of spongy mass of muscle here. Occasionally it ripples and lowers slightly, and some of this stomach soup just kind of washes into it and gets slurped away down into the depths.
So, assuming that's the direction we probably should be going, then.
Aye, just head down. You'll find your way.
I spent most of my life as a child learning to hand cut noodles and shape them using the basic tools of flour and water, and then developing so many different culinary delights using native spices from my country and from the neighboring islands, and catching my own fish and developing my own dishes, and now I'm reduced to scavenging for ingredients in a Leviathan's asshole. How did it come to this?
Well, if it's any consolation, it's a long way to that asshole. And I start to head down.
After you.
Following.
Follows.
All right. You head forward, holding on to these muscly ridges at the back, and ahead of you, the sphincter muscle sort of flutters open for a moment, and more soupy mush swashes down into it. Now's the time. Make Dex rolls to leap through without being crushed. Don't worry, it's pretty easy.
Oh, good. 10.
All right. All you need is 7, so just tell me if you fail.
When you said easy, I remember that.
13.
Got a 10.
9.
I got a 9, but I
Okay.
can spend a Fabula point to reroll.
Well, you only need 7, so you're all good.
All right.
All
I
right.
was gonna say,
so-
don't you have like the highest dex in the whole group?
Well, yeah, I have D10s, and one of them rolled a 7. The other rolled a 2.
All right.
Well, then that's together. Isn't that like a 9?
Yes, but first I had in my head that I needed a 10.
All right. One after another, you jump through, slipping and sliding down a sort of slight incline down into the thing's deeper guts. Here, there isn't the light of the lantern from the sailor, nor the distant lights of the Marrow Point settlement, nor is there much in the way of bioluminescence. So once you're through the sphincter hole, it is pitch black. Sound doesn't really carry in here; it gets absorbed in the soft walls. So you literally can't see your own hand in front of your face. What are you going to do for light?
So we've been misinterpreting that particular question every time you ask us. It's assumed we have the light. We're adventurers. We have these specific things. We don't even have to spend IP on it.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
That's
also,
raw.
I do have the fairy in the jar.
Don't you have another thing in a jar?
I do. Let me see.
I
Oh,
can
you got another
cast.
thing that
I
lit
can
up.
cast. I can cast a ritualism spell or ritual to use a light like we did that one time we were going through the sewers of that island. So
Neil's just going to be a little bit more pragmatic and just pull out a torch and light it.
I know.
Okay.
Cue explosion.
Well, look at it this way.
What's the second thing in the jar?
If it blows us up and kills us all, then
Oh!
did you really want to spend the rest of your life down here in the whale's ass?
All right. So Neil hauls out a torch and lights it. The flame, it's hard to make it catch, and it gutters quite low, and the flame is kind of greenish, but it does give you enough light to see. Compared to no light at all, it's a lot better than that. So yeah.
Graham,
Yep.
sorry, I was on the phone when you were asking for the roll for the dex checks.
Okay.
I assume double 1 is a failure.
Yes, it is. Okay.
Somebody got stuck.
Did anyone know where Quinn went? Where is he?
I don't know. There's a dragon-shaped lump of meat floating in there. So
Well,
Actually,
did
the
Dragon
dragon
make
made
it?
it through. I didn't.
No, he's that other shape of meat. No, I think it's the chunk of corn.
Okay,
Well, Quinn
yeah,
does
you
yellow.
get Quinn gets lightly crushed in the sphincter muscle and stuck in it for about 20 seconds. Lose 10 health before it finally relinquishes and you go slipping and sliding through.
Oh my god! It's horrible! You guys just kept going!
yeah, you're gonna need a shower after this.
You all are. Let me bring up my gut map because I did make one. There we go. All right. Occasionally, when the sphincter flutters open again, there is a wash of soupy slurry down the slope that runs and trickles down deeper into the guts of this thing. Every time it does, the walls wobble and contract slightly, heading downwards, pushing the partially digested gloop further down. every time that sphincter flutters, a little bit of light comes through from the faint luminescence in the stomach, which adds to the light of your single torch. Was anyone producing any other light?
The dragon.
What's the chance of this sigil on this shield glowing?
Pretty good, I would say.
Okay.
I mean,
Yes,
Drakon is, because, I mean, he's a fire elemental in actuality. Flaming dragon.
Yeah. So, yeah, he can slowly breathe fire out of his nose, but it is burning low and green. So, again, yeah, it's pretty
Are we gonna have to
unpleasant.
worry
down
about?
here.
Are we going to have to worry about the gases in the stomach?
I was just gonna make a
Also,
alchemical
Grim,
insight
it's the
roll.
beginning of
on
the game.
that
We're all supposed to get a Fabula point.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
once you got.
Oh, yes. Yeah, everyone needs a Fabula point for the start
And
of the
do
session.
I get a second one for rolling the critical failure,
Yep.
right?
Yes.
do.
I was under the assumption that you only got the free Fabula point if you started with 0.
No, it's every session, I think.
Okay. All right.
Okay, I have a question for you then, Grim. With my Tinker alchemical background and my little Tinker stuff, what does this tell me about the fire and the color and etc.? And that would be 14.
Okay. There's not really enough air down here to sustain fire unless it's produced magically. And while the digestive gases in this particular spot may not be particularly strong, they're probably stronger further down, and a bare naked flame could create an explosion deeper in the gut.
So being, so appreciated by these folks, I'm considering whether I should tell them or not. But being that I don't want to die with them, I relay that information to the rest of the team.
If we're worried about big fire like explosions, we could send Drakon first and into a big pocket of that gas, and he could blow the crap out of it, literally, and then we could walk in because it wouldn't hurt him.
Understand how explosions work in a confined space? This is like my specialty.
If
But
the
Drakon
torch flames turn blue, we're in trouble.
He could fly ahead and burn off pockets of gas for you if you send him well ahead. Of course, he'll get blown up repeatedly if he does that.
Yeah, well, he's immune to flame, so
Yeah.
But explosions?
Yes,
Is that
yes,
the
he is.
same?
Still fire.
Okay.
It's still fire. Unless
Okay.
there's an ice monster down there.
I beg to differ because explosions also involve concussion. In fact,
Yes.
the concussion from certain explosions is so high that will actually cause all the blood vessels in your body to explode, and you will die screaming
Yeah.
before the
Depending
fire
on-
ever hits you.
Depending on the type of explosion, he might take a small amount of damage.
Yeah.
Anyway.
He's just
Yeah.
a fire elemental in actuality.
The sphincter convulses again, and another swoosh of stomach slurry washes down. Your shoes begin to steam.
Yeah, I'm gonna have Portent carry me.
All
Next time we find a hot spring island, we're going there. I'm tired of this oil stuff.
And you haven't
I
even
have-
been here a day.
I have an idea. I'm going to put the incredible walk of destruction on the surface and use that to kind of surfboard my way through.
Okay. You set it down carefully and then step onto the walk. Can you make a dex roll, please?
I can attempt to. Grim,
Yes.
I got a 16.
Okay.
That's
That the best
that's
you can
max
get?
on 2 dice.
Okay. So you get a Fabula point. And
Somebody plays pipeline in the back and do 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 do.
No, we find a bit of rope and you get dragged along like you're on the back of like you're surfing.
That would work too.
Yeah, the dragon flies along, and you're just kind of wee.
Surfing through the colon.
It's cleansing.
Okay.
Oh,
You have, and I'm giving you the bonus that you've advanced your search for the appropriate ingredients faster. But anyway, right. So while you're sort of standing around watching your shoes dissolve, Neil puts down his wok and steps into it. With his weight added, the wok takes off down the slow incline, but at a fair clip of knots. You've caught the ripple of muscle, so you're actually surfing on the intestinal squish all the way down the pipe. So yeah, Niall goes hurtling off into the distance with his torch, while from out of nowhere surfing music plays.
So we should probably follow him because that's not a good thing.
No. I go charging off, but I'm going to periodically, when I can, stop. But I'm going to rinse my feet off with some wine.
Splish, splish. Okay, but Niall is ahead of you, so he gets a couple of turns to explore. All right.
Mm-hmm.
The wok eventually comes to a rest when you slide up and sort of come to a stylistic looking break against a big wall of muscle. Most beasts that you've cut up for food, the gut is one long pipe that just, goes all the way through. This creature's guts seem to divide up in different directions and at different heights, different slopes. So you come scooting past one big wall of muscle, slide up against another, and it seems like the pathway splits three ways here. One part dips down a lot deeper than the other two, which seem to be much more shallow.
Okay, this is an unusual circumstance.
You do have maps.
Well, look at the map and...
Okay, it is a child's drawing of a map. Make an insight roll.
Yeah, the child did a really good job, though, because I rolled really well when I made those things.
Yeah.
Got a 12.
Okay. Peering at the map. Yeah, it looks like the thing's guts sort of use different rates of descent and so on to kind of almost sort the stuff that it's eaten, like you would pan for gold or something. So different slopes and different muscle movement patterns and so on seem to divide up what it's eaten. So bones go one way, indigestible stuff goes another, tasty good stuff that's easy to digest goes another, and so on.
Yeah,
what a complicated thing.
Wow.
Anyway, Grim,
Everyone
I'll
else.
fly after Neo.
Yes, so you turn up next with everyone else not far behind, sort of running and slipping and sliding.
Neo, where'd you go?
I'm going to ride.
You're supposed to wait for a Drakon to go first.
I was?
Yes, in case there's big gas stuff.
Well, now we have 3 different ways we can go.
Oh, which one?
That's a good question. I'm trying to
You
figure
got the
that
map.
out.
Clearly, the left path is the correct one.
Because
Let's go left.
Yeah, but I made maps for him. He's got maps.
I'm going to take a look at those maps. Can I get a glimpse at them, Niall?
I'll show them to Bow.
Yeah. Make an insight roll.
Mm-hmm. 14, 2 7s.
Okay. So you think the kind of stuff you're after would be things that would irritate its gut. So you're after metal and wood and things like that are either harder to digest or impossible to digest. And those things being heavier should have probably gone down the steepest tunnel So that seems to you to be the most likely way to go. Hopefully there's some sea chests and things that have survived long enough in its gut, and they might contain some untainted ingredients and things.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, because I was just trying to think about how how does mining work in this setting? Because I was like, okay, panning for gold, I know how that works, and sluicing for, but I can't imagine how I would know that would work to try to figure out the mechanics, right? I'm trying to justify it in my head.
By the way,
Well,
boys and girls, I have an important little.
Separation.
Wait. Let Tisha speak. What were you saying?
I said, yeah. Never ever aspirate spicy noodle soup. It's extremely painful.
Oh my!
I just did that. So yeah. Hey, carry on.
So some rock islands are much bigger than others, so you will get something more like standard geology and so on from them. Also, as an alchemist, you'll know about fractional distillation, things like that. Similar principles.
Yep, that's where I was headed. Okay, so as we're headed, I'm going to inform everybody that, you know, the odds are the ingredients that Niall's going to need to rescue us are probably down this steeper gut, as it were. But the reason is because the things that won't be digested. So let's keep our eyes open and do lots of searching, and because you know what there could be like lots of zenith down here, lots of gold, lots of things that weren't, because gold is, you know, alchemically neutral. Yeah, I bet you we could make a killing down this way, make a lot of money. We could recover quite a bit of zenith.
Oh, don't worry. If this plan works out, we're going to be killing, all right. We're going to be killing a leviathan.
Grim
Or
is
at least giving it.
Grim is following the old adage of GMing crews of shipgoers and saying, "Keep them poor, keep them hungry."
It was actually my idea because I couldn't figure out a way to get out of this thing. So it's my fault that we're poor.
How steep is the angle of this?
It's pretty steep.
Does the phrase "turkey shit through a tin horn" mean anything to you?
Yeah, but fortunately, it is fairly narrow here, so you should be able to like spread your arms out between the flesh walls and kind of make your way down that way.
Okay.
If
I begin
if
heading
you guys
down.
give me a rope, I could take a rope down, and then you could slide down a rope.
Well, Zarin already said he was climbing, so can I have a Dex plus Might roll, please?
13.
Okay. Double check the difficulties. All right, yeah. You make it down fine, and it flattens off at the bottom, and you land feet first in a big pile of somewhat slimy fish bones and fragments of wood. So you think this must be the right way.
Do you guys want to climb down, or you want me to take a rope down so you have something to slide down?
Take a rope down. Let's slide through this shit.
I was going to say, didn't you just head down? Shouldn't you have taken the rope before you went down?
I haven't went down yet.
What are you going to tie the rope off to, though?
I was going to give it to Zarin. And then me and Drakon Drakon can hold the rope on this end because we fly.
Okay.
I don't guess anybody has a grappling hook.
Maybe there's a nodule we can
Again,
lodge
we
it
just
around.
need a rope. Drakon can hold one end, and Zarin can hold the other.
You're going to make me spend equipment points, aren't you?
Does anyone have a rope, though?
I
Equipment
don't.
points.
Like a light, it's the same question as a light. It's standard equipment. It's assumed we have.
Player understands. The player understands. It's the character asking.
There is a fleshy nodule protruding from the side of the gut wall that you could tie the rope off onto.
Do I need to spend a Fabula point to allow that to happen, or are you just going to allow that?
You need an inventory point for a rope.
Yeah, you need inventory point for a rope and a grappling hook.
Yes, I have no inventory points, so
I have no problem spending it.
Yeah,
I burnt them all
inventory
burning a
points
tree
too.
down.
I have to use my inventory points to cook stuff. So
I'll spend some of my inventory. So how many do I need to spend?
I think it's just one for a rope.
Okay.
Let me double check. Uh, yeah, J random stuff. Yeah, just spend a point.
Okay.
All right. So I'll fly one end down to Zarin, and then we can either tie off the other end or have Drakon hold it. Whichever.
All right. Well, with the rope, the rest of you don't need to roll. However, Zarin down in the bottom, while the others are faffing about with the rope and clambering down one after another, you can hear sounds coming from deeper in the tunnel, sort of moving sounds like beetles boring into the wood in old buildings, or termites chewing away, something similar to that.
oh
Guys,
great,
hurry
this
up,
thing's
we're not
got
alone down
parasites.
Well, I guess I need a reason to try out my new toy. Devin says to start spinning the chambers on the gun.
Grim, once everyone's down, I collect up the rope.
Okay.
Because we need it again. Sudden silence.
Yes, I think we're waiting for T-shirt to draw his cards before you proceed.
No, you can proceed without me. I'm just getting ready because I have a feeling we're going to have some action.
You just need to show everybody how he does, how nicely he deals.
Years of practice.
All right. So does Zarin say to the rest of us what's going on?
Yeah, I yelled up that we need to hurry up. We're not alone down here.
Then I take my blade out of the Nano Echo Sheath. Thank you, Val. And I am going to push forward with Zarin.
Okay. So, yeah, you two sort of nod to each other and move on forward. The tunnels.
The opening.
The tunnel splits again. It's wide enough for about three of you to walk abreast. The tunnel sort of splits again with two fleshy tubes going around the outside of a big pile. The pile is kind of accreted stuff. It's hard to make out exactly what it is, as it's all encrusted in this kind of hardened mucus and stuff. Crawling all over the surface of this stuff are what look at first glance to be big green furry caterpillars about the size of your forearm.
I wonder if they're good to eat.
I don't think I want to I don't think I want to be the first one to try your cooking on that one there, Niall. So let's maybe look elsewhere.
Well, what they're crawling around on might be what we're after, though.
I just don't want to eat them.
We're gonna have Drakon flame them. Yes, Neil? No?
I don't know. That might risk either A, detonating anything that's down here, or B, melting the stuff that we need.
Yeah, but don't you need gold? And gold doesn't matter if it's melted or not.
Well, we don't necessarily need gold. It's just some of the byproducts of what it can do.
It looks fancy.
Well, they're crawling around on the ground, and they're going to get. So you guys who walk on the ground are the ones going to get eaten by them. So you tell me.
I'm going to spend 10 mind points to gain multi 2,
Okay.
and I'll try and take out a couple of them.
Oh,
we go.
Okay. So,
okay.
give me 1 second here. To copy these stats over onto my scrap sheet.
Proof I'm actually a Mexican.
Or an old person in the UK is what that would tell me.
Every Mexican household has the magical bottle of Vapor Rub. Cures everything.
Yeah, so does every Canadian household. I got one right in my drawer here.
There we go. Brothers in Mentholatum.
Yeah, all winter long in Canada, use that shit all the time.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, well, this is a surprise round. So, Zerin scoots forward and slashes out at some of these awful green things that are crawling all over this heap. Can you make your attack roll, please?
Yeah, I got a 16 for the first multi and a 17 for the second.
Okay, their defense is 10, so that's 2 hits. How much damage?
What's the plus 5? The first one took 14. The second one takes 16.
Okay.
Sorry, 15.
Okay. Does anyone else want to do anything as he cleaves into these things? When you hit them, they just kind of burst as if someone's made a half-hearted dachshund out of water balloons.
Oh, that's sad.
I suppose Devin will probably join him in blasting away some of these hairy caterpillars.
You need to take one of them as a pet.
I was going to try one to eat, but they kind of explode.
Like Starfire's caterpillar thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Devlin, make your surprise attacks.
I'll spend the additional 10 mind points to get multi off because I never use that. Does a 9 hit?
No, you need 10.
Oh, in that case, I'll spend a Fabula point and reroll the 1.
Okay. Then note down somewhere that you spent a Fabula point.
8, 6. Most certainly hits.
Okay. How much damage?
Let's see. 18.
Are you aiming in the same sort of area that Zerin's been hacking at them, or?
I'd say so. And he's going to be dealing some, I believe, ice damage.
Okay.
Why don't we see what happens if we freeze any of the surrounding area?
Everything is moist around here, so when you let off a freeze shot, the frost spreads quite a lot, and then immediately starts to melt back because everything is also quite humid and warm in here. But
Electricity would be fun.
Yeah, several of these little creatures rupture and split open from their guts, freezing internally, and they emit high-pitched shrieking noises and visible clouds of green gas. Does anyone else want to hack at these things or shoot at them? Or
I move back out of the way.
Visible green gas. I'm having Portent move back.
So that just leaves Jun then and
Yep.
Neil.
I'm gonna poke the green gas with the torch from standing as far back from it as I can.
It emits a foul smell and goes bang.
That's what I thought.
However, you are holding it at distance, so you only take 5 health points of damage.
Yep, that's what I thought would happen.
Yeah, burns all the hairs off your knuckles. So that just leaves Jun.
Yes, so I am going to attack with just my regular blade. And I need to roll will plus dex, so that is d8 and d8. Let's do this.
Let's not use fire on the fartapillars.
I'm not. I'm just using a regular sword. That is a 12, with the high roll going to 7 plus 15, which is 22 damage.
Okay. All right. You draw your blade and dash forwards, running across the side of these things. So, yeah, in anime style, it looks like you just flipped your sword slightly with your thumb and then appeared a certain distance away with a bunch of slash marks behind you. And then in slow motion, several of them like cut apart. Some of them sliced finely like a cucumber. Right, a whole bunch of them are now dead. And this miasma of green mist sort of spreads out and settles down. The whole heap makes a threatening growling noise, and all the green things sort of come together like a fleshy wave with dozens of little mouths with sharp, pointy teeth opening up all over them. Choose someone to be your lead for initiative, please.
That's our captain, Devlin.
Devlin.
Remember, you got the belt.
Right. The initiative difficulty is 10, so everyone rolls. Everyone who succeeds adds 1 to Devlin's final roll.
Nope.
I have +3 to my initiative.
+4 for the belt.
Plus 5.
I rolled
One
4.
more.
I rolled a 7.
-2. So yeah, I didn't succeed.
Okay.
I got a 9 minus 3, so that's 6.
So no. Okay.
I got 1. I succeeded. I gave him +1.
That would be
All right. So
8. Who all succeeded?
I
I
did
did.
not.
yeah, I think they have initiative.
Devlin, what did you roll?
I rolled a 2 and a 2.
Oh God.
4.
Yeah, because we
Plus
stacked all our
5.
bonuses on you too.
Yeah. I think they get to go first.
Should have spent a fate point and re-roll one of those, or fabulous.
You could do. Do you have a spare Fabula point?
I only have 7 to spare.
Oh no!
Oh.
Only 7.
Okay. I'll re-roll. 5 and 5 for 10, plus 3
That's
for
better.
13.
All right. So you
Yeah.
guys can go first. So who wants to go first?
Devlin.
Right. These.
Oh, sorry. Devlin, you got a belt for me that's +4. Plus, you got I think Niall gave you a bonus too. How do you
So
get
did I.
+3?
I have a base -1 to my initiative, and then your belt gives me a +4, which turns that into a +3.
But doesn't someone else give you a bonus too?
Yeah, 2 other people succeeded, but that's still not enough.
Yeah, but that's ancillary bonuses that were given to me after the roll, not the built-in bonuses that I already
Oh,
had.
no, I thought someone else gave you a permanent bonus too. Like
Anyway. Yeah. So all of these horrible little hungry green creatures and more of them that are swarming out of this mass of solidified mucus, forming together into big waves of green teeth ready to crash down upon you. Who wants to go first? Because you won initiative.
I might as well.
All
I'll
right.
go hacking into this thing.
All right. You dart forward to protect everyone else and lash
Yep.
out. Make your attack roll.
14 with double sevens.
Well, that's definitely a hit. It's any doubles that are 6 or higher is a crit, isn't it?
Yes.
So you gain a Fabula point. And... Okay, I'll give you a bonus thing after we resolve damage. How much damage did you do?
That is 13. 12. 12. I'm
12.
failing in math, apparently.
All right. So you dart forward as they form into these green waves, lash your blade across, hacking up a whole bunch of them, which are almost immediately replaced by others. But you're unable to see exactly where you were cutting. Your blade cuts through them and into this hardened, waxy mucus behind them and cleaves open part of it. Bao's treasure sense goes off. He can immediately sense that there is money in there.
Woo!
All right, there you go. This wave of creatures falls down upon Zerin with sharp, pointy teeth. So what is your defense?
12.
Okay, so that's Dex plus Might. It's 11, so that's a miss. So they fall down upon you, but your armor is strong and secure enough, and you manage to cover your face to stop them biting the soft parts of your face off. So they just kind of splat down around you, and yeah, you're sort of buried up to the knees in hungry green things. Right, who's up next?
It's just horrifying.
I'll shoot it with the Jade Roar. Jade Roar charge. Can I fucking read my dice today? 6 and 5, 11.
So that's a hit.
Okay, so this is an impact proximity. It does 20 points of damage. Then they have to make wait a minute, no, right here it is. Physical damage ignores, so it ignores 1 point of defense. If I hit, then they are shaken. Oh, I'm sorry. So we have to roll an opposed tinker check. Not tinker
Okay.
check. Yeah. It, yep.
He figures it out.
So insight
You'll win
willpower?
this.
Yeah, they
Well,
don't even have
correct.
bonus.
It's insight. I have
Okay.
an 11.
All right, they did not beat 11.
So if they fumble, they're shaken. Otherwise, that was it. Fuck. Oh, because there's no debris because it's fucking inside. There's no earth. So there's no physical terrain. All right. So I did 20 points of damage.
Yeah, so the bomb lands in the main body of this swarm that's descended upon Zerin. There's a muffled bang noise, and like a good half dozen of them or more are blown into fragments. And poor old Zerin is spattered with green goo. All right. It is,
I wonder if it's
there we
flammable.
go. The next wave of hungry green beasties descends upon Jun, making snappy, hungry noises. What is Jun's defense?
Jun's defense is 11. Unless it's magic, in which case it's 8.
It's not magic. Right.
Okay.
They succeed in chomping on you. You take 11 health of damage,
Okay.
and you're bleeding.
Did we heal and gain magic points back from last time, or is it
Yes.
still the same?
I don't think
We did. We did. We were up there long enough.
Yeah, go on then.
Okay.
Right, and Jun,
I saw minuses.
yeah, and Jun is bleeding until either Jun or someone else takes a turn to bandage the wounds.
Okay.
So at the start of each turn that you're bleeding, you will lose some health points. All right, who's up next?
I will go.
What you doing?
Okay. Quickly using the wok to whip up this salty plus umami dish, stuff it in June's mouth as well as everybody else who's injured. Who all is injured? I actually know the number of targets who are injured. June.
I got smashed in the sphincter.
Oh yeah.
When? Dev, did you get?
No, I'm
You got
okay.
smashed in the sphincter.
Zarin, you got hurt, right?
Nope. It kind of bounced off me.
And Bal's okay, so.
Yep.
So only 2 people, huh? Okay, well, I feed you both some, yeah.
Why does it taste like feet?
Shut up and eat it. It's good for you. Because you get 40 hit points back, and you're now immune to ice.
Yeah, but this isn't a particularly sanitary arena in which to be cooking. So make might rolls difficulty 10, or you get the runs
Okay, let's do this.
from ingesting whale booty
Holy
bacteria.
shit. I actually did it. I only have D6s, so.
Actually, if it's salty and umami, it's probably tastes like tonkatsu ramen or something.
Tastes
That's an
that
11.
Tastes like that coffee that's been
Same
through a
thing I got.
civets ass. Okay, right. So neither of you get ill, and you manage to choke down Neil's cooking, so you can have that
smells
many
like feet
health.
because he was standing in his wok.
This is true. All right, so yeah, you can get back those health points. It was 40, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. It's essentially magic food. So you just
Is that
cook it up, infusing it with magic, and then you
Made with
get
love.
the flavor in your mouth, and
that cure my
I feel so much
bleeding?
better.
Does that cure my bleeding?
No, that does not cure your bleeding, unless it
Damn
says
it.
that it removes status effects or anything. T-shirt.
I don't have one that removes the bleeding status effect, unfortunately.
It's okay. I'll deal with it.
All right. Still only really Zarin and Jund that are in close combat, isn't it?
Yep.
And that's who they're going to go for first.
Oh, by the way, it doesn't really matter now, but when I suffer damage, I immediately recover SL times 2 mind points.
Oh, okay. Cool. Well, you can do that.
Mhm.
Right. The last wave of them that has emerged from this mass seethes up and joins the first pile that's attacking Zarin, but is equally unable to get through his armor and his general aura of contempt. All right. Anyone else not gone?
I haven't.
I've not either.
Go ahead, Devin. That's fine.
All right, well, Devon's going to pull out his trusty new toy, and is going to go for the multi-shot. So spend the 10 mind points to get multi-2.
Yep.
I rolled double 9s.
Nice. So that's an opportunity of some kind. And that's definitely a hit. How much damage?
Let's see, 19.
And what kind of damage?
Ice.
Okay.
Ice, baby.
All right.
As for
Two.
As for the opportunity, could I use it to gather some information on them?
Yes. Spot a useful clue or detail. The GM may tell you what it is. Ask you to introduce that detail yourself. I will tell you something about them. All right. So, twin blasts of frost. Did you roll for the second attack? I don't think you did.
It's a double barrel shotgun.
6, 8 for 14, 15, 16, 17.
That's a hit. How much damage?
Let's see, 18.
Okay. yeah, so you heft up the shotgun and fire twice. 2 big sprays of frost energy pile out and freeze a whole.
Oh, we lost Caster.
Okay. Well, okay, he killed a bunch. I'm not going to waste it on a description if he's not here.
Oh, I can hear your description.
There he
There
is.
he is. Let him know.
I've no idea what just happened.
You killed him.
Yeah.
Yay!
But yeah, all right. 2 blasts of frost energy hit one of the crowds that is swirling around Zerin, and they freeze internally and rupture in all directions. Right. So, what do you find out? When they hit half health, right? When they hit crisis, they seem to become more frenzied and more resistant to physical damage.
So, guys, careful. These things are going to get crazy when they start dropping in health. So, heads up and be very careful on them.
All right. So I think it's Quinn's go.
Yep. So Zarin is like coated in metal and stuff. He looks like he's all tough in that. So I just tell Drakon, flame him.
Oh no!
I figure he could take the fire. So
Okay. So
and then
he takes a-
I'll pull a wellspring of fire to go with it to boost
Okay.
this. Ooh, 20, 12 and an 8.
That's a hit.
Uh,
Damage.
so 12 and 10, 42.
All right. He takes a huge, deep breath and then fires out a stream of flame that burns all around Zerin, heating him up and singeing some of his hair, but not actually hurting him, but burning away the vast majority of the green things that are around him. They burst in a very similar way to the way that they do when you freeze them. It's just there's also little sort of flashes as the green gas they give off ignites as well. So it's like popping candy almost, but grosser. All right. So new turn. Jun is bleeding and loses another 8 health.
Oh, I thought it was 1 HP per turn.
No.
Okay, never mind then.
You're covered in dozens of bites. You're Kurosawaing from all body parts.
Oh,
Like a poorly maintained colander.
Are we staying with the same initiative or do we have to roll again?
Staying with the same initiative. So who wants to go first?
Maybe let June go so she can patch her wounds.
Yeah. So
Is that what-
I am. Should I just spend like 2 IP for a health point or something, or would that not cure the bleeding as well?
It's
2 would recover. 2 would remove the status. 3 would recover the health.
Okay, I will spend 3 IP then.
okay. So you grab some bandages and just very
Coat them
stingy
in healing potions.
very stingy disinfectant, and quickly wrap your wounds as you back away from the creatures. Okay, you are no longer bleeding,
Awesome.
and was it 20 health back for a health potion? I think
50.
50. Okay, more
I
than
didn't
twice
even need
what I
that
thought it
much.
was. But you do need to stop bleeding. So,
Yes.
all right.
Wait, but you can bleed for like what, 5 days?
Can
Be
bleed,
fine.
bleed
you
for a
could-
week without dying.
You could always just spend the 2 and just bandage it and not heal yourself and then save the extra IP
It's true.
Yeah, I'll do that.
because you only have 8 damage. I mean, one of us can heal you later.
Yeah.
However,
I'll do-
they have a taste for Jun blood and pursue you, swarming over the ground and slurping up the blood trails you've left behind on the mush and trying to get at you again. And they hit. So you take 12 health, and you are bleeding again.
Damn it.
The moment you wrap one wound, like one of them goes, chomp, right next to it, and
Anal leeches. Would have thought.
Jun of the 50 wounds. All right, who's next?
Do you want me to have Drakon Flamer
Question,
free?
if you could set the scene a little bit for me. So, is this still an amalgamation of critters in one swarm, or are there still individuals wandering around?
The swarm has split into two. The greater majority of the swarm has piled after Jun and is like biting her toes off one by one. The remaining swarm is futilely chewing on Zerin's armor, and they've been heavily reduced.
And how large is this swarm? Like from June towards the back of the swarm, how many feet, meters, whatever works for you? Zone. Let's put how far? How many zones?
Each swarm is about a cube, 2 meters on each side. One of them is very, very thinned out. The other one is pretty much solidly jam-packed with little green critters.
Okay, then I'm going to hit them with gravity manipulation bomb. At the back of the largest swarm, pulled all targets, one zone inward. That's 12 plus 1, 13.
Okay, it's a hit. How much damage?
Well, so I didn't do it. So only if I hit like one and then a whole bunch of shit comes in the middle.
Okay.
Whereas what I'm doing is at the end and I'm trying to pull everything from the front back.
All right. So the bomb lands behind them. And so like Jun, they're like leaping towards your face when there's a warp sound and they get dragged back away from you, back towards the accretion of stuff and the sort of waxy mucus and all that. The gravity bomb also pulls several loose things out of the pile. You see a handful of gold coins, a candlestick, a pirate boot, and a few other bits get pulled out of the accretion into the mix as well.
I grabbed
they're
the gold.
Staggered and lose their next movement.
Okay.
My turn?
It's their go.
Oh, dear.
The other swarm on Zerin continues to futilely chew at him, failing to get enough to hurt him. So, yes, breaking off their little goblin-like teeth on your armor. To no avail. Okay, who's next?
I will go. Because I'm going to play Blinding Flush. Just 4 cards of consecutive values, which lets me deal damage to each enemy present on the scene, and it is dark damage, so it is 41 points of dark damage to every enemy on the scene.
Holy shit.
Okay.
My cards are not to be messed with.
So yeah, you sort of cast your spread of cards into the air, and beams of black energy shoot out in like 50 different directions, piercing a whole bunch of these creatures and sucking them down into whatever evil blackness lies beneath this world and the next. And it's a flush, which is appropriate when you're in a monster's butthole. So there's about half of the swarm that got dragged back away from Jun left. Who's next?
Are there so there's none left on Zerin then?
None left on Zerin. They were all destroyed by the shadow beams.
Right. Are the ones that were attacking June still chasing?
Trying to, but they've been dragged back by the gravity bomb.
Okay. In that case, Devlin's gonna just get a shot off on them.
Okay, go for it.
Double barrel.
5 and 1 for 6.
That's a miss.
I can spend another Fabula point.
Okay.
You have 2 shots each round with that gun.
Were there 2 shots?
Does it have
It's a
inherent
double-barrel
multi-attack?
shotgun.
Yeah, but does it have multi-attack too? It has to have that for 2 shots.
Let me
If
read
that's,
it again.
let me see. What's chosen? Doesn't. That's free action after the first shot. Yeah, it doesn't have multi-shot listed,
All right.
but it just says after the first shot.
Right. So after the first shot, here we go. Fires twice per use, 2 barrels, one after the other. After first shot, may pump once free action to switch elemental damage. So that means, like, if you had shot him once with bolt,
Nice.
and then someone else, and you realized instead you wanted ice, you would be able to change between shots, and you can do fire, ice, or bolt.
So should I give it multi-2 just for?
Yeah, put in multi-2, and then obviously you can spend magic points for an extra multi, so that would take it to 3 because you have that ability.
Yep. All right, not a problem.
Okay.
So the first one missed. I spent the Fabula point to reroll that. See, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Okay. So how much damage?
See, 18.
Okay. There's like 1 left. Going grr,
Well, he's got 1 more shot left. So.
And then 6 and 3 for 9. Well, 9.
That's
10,
a
11,
miss.
12.
Oh,
Sorry.
12. That's a hit then. That's enough to finish it off. All right. We're out of combat. There are splashes of green goo everywhere, rapidly dissipating greenish gas going in all directions. The frost that's been left by the ice blasts is slowly melting away.
I was gonna say, I'll draw on the air, wellspring of air and cast Healing Breeze for Jun.
Okay. So what's that do?
I gotta look at that amount. So 30 total.
Do you have to roll?
Oh, sorry,
anything for
40
it?
total. No, 40 total. No, it just target just recovers 30, but with my dragon there, it's actually 40.
All right.
Okay, cool.
So a warm, fragrant breeze briefly replaces the stink of digesting matter all around you, and you feel a lot better. And you can finish wrapping your wounds so you don't bleed anymore.
Yeah.
Awesome.
This cost me 5 points, though.
The cards
All
are
right.
mighty with me today.
So what now?
Well, I think we should be gathering and checking that area where we saw my gravity bomb pull out some loot.
Yeah, we
Go ahead and start digging in the poop.
Well, I'll
It's
send
mucus.
Portent over there to start scraping through and digging.
Yes, master. It would be my pleasure to dig through partially digested waxy mucus for you.
I told you, do not call me master.
I look at Drakon to do the same thing, and he just growls at me.
Sorry, my lord. I will never call you master again, your majesty. Now allow me to dig through this skunk for you.
Yes. Beep beep boop pop pop boop beep 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 boop boop.
Exactly. All right. So the robot starts breaking off chunks of this waxy stuff. Yeah, it's all layered, hardened mucus surrounding various relatively indigestible things. How long do you want to spend looting it?
at least until I have enough wealth together here to complete the project. That was the goal of this.
Don't forget
Yeah.
the 220 or whatever gold I gave you.
Zenith.
What?
He has
Yeah,
220 on his character that he was supposed to have given to you, but he didn't actually.
Yeah, I
Oh,
forgot
well,
to.
well, that would have been nice. But now I've forgotten the exact total of how much we needed. So
It was about
Uh-oh.
400 and something, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the total was 1,500, but we had 1,100 and change. So it was just under 400 that we still needed.
Yep. We were close, but no cigar.
So if he throws that in, we'll have like 200 we still need to collect.
Well, there's probably at least 200, what do you call them, Zenit worth of stuff here.
Yeah. There's a couple of kegs that haven't been broken open by the action of the digestive tract. So, yeah. All right. In a frenzy, you set to work on this pile of mucus, or set your robot to work on this pile of mucus, digging out stuff and piling it up as best you can. With Neil sort of standing watch and saying, yes, that, no, not that, put that back, put that down. Don't put that in your mouth.
You said there's some big casks and stuff?
Yes.
Can we take the rope and tie them together into a bundle that I can have Drakon lift for us?
Yes.
So you can fly it up out of here?
Yeah. 1 second here. All right. So you finished putting together your bundle. You're ready to head back. Can you all make insight rolls and tell me who gets the highest?
I do. Oh,
I got 9.
yeah, nope,
Nice.
not me.
I think
Can
that,
anyone-
that you said that's a crit or something?
Caster, you're muted or something?
I got 11.
I rolled double 6s, but I think double 9s beats that.
Yes.
I got a 7.
Oddly, I got double 2.
Well, that's no good to anybody. So no one beat 18.
No.
Nope.
All right. So that was, sorry, was that Quinn or Jun?
Quinn.
Okay. All right. So you're helping Drakon to tie together the last of these kegs and things together. When you notice near where the battle was taking place, some of the muscle walls of the gut have been torn and bled a bit. And as you look at it, what almost looks like a big white mushroom begins to extrude out of the wound in the floor, slowly inflating like one of those growling weather balloons on the prisoner.
All right, well, I'll point it out to everybody. But, hey, look, something's growing out of the side there.
Ah.
I think it's angry. We may wish to leave.
Little
Do we have what we need?
chemical
Do we?
excited.
Yeah, you do have everything you need. Alchemy won't really tell you much about this.
I
Yeah,
think
I was trying to come up with a good reason it would, but
Well,
We
so-
have everything we need for me to complete the solution. Can we just go, or would you like to stay down here and enjoy this wonderful smell?
Let's go.
Devil's gonna throw one of the dead maggots into the balloon just to see what happens.
Okay. The dead maggot thing goes against the side of the balloon. The balloon just sort of engulfs it, lets it sink through its outer skin, and you see it dissolving away inside.
Oh, that's horrifying.
I have Drakon fly up the bundle of stuff. And
Okay.
then I'll fly back down to give everybody else a lift one at a time.
All right. The white thing finishes bulging through the gap and just sort of wobbles there for a moment. You see little vague sparkly lights flashing inside it, and from the wound where it just came through, you see another one starting to inflate.
Quick, who wants to come up with me?
That's
I
what
do.
lights are all about.
So Devlin said first, so I grab him by the hands and I fly out.
All right.
Just start climbing.
we have Portland
Yeah.
flying me out.
All right, everyone who can't fly, please make a Dex plus Might roll.
Can do.
What about those who want to wait till I get back to them?
Well,
I got a
they've still got to
16.
They've still got to
No
run
way.
away in the meantime.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you only have to beat 7, so you should probably be all right. Just let me know if you fail.
Why is this
I'm
rope
gonna-
so slippery?
I'm gonna spend a Fabula point because I got 2 1s.
Okay, that sounds like a good use of a Fabula point.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't, because if you'd have stayed with the fumble, you could have gotten a Fabula point.
Well, and then maybe got killed.
I thought you could
Yeah,
have
that's-
used Fabula points to re-roll fumbles.
I got a 4. So.
Oh, can you not?
I thought you could. Let me check.
I think
we
I
have been
remember
doing
it
that
saying
around.
that, but I'm not 100% sure.
I have a feeling that was a past ruling like that.
Yeah.
So, well, you still have to invoke a trait. You can't just blow them for a reroll unless you've got something that applies. So that's what they've been getting.
I'm invoking my hope that I can survive a bit longer.
Okay.
That's my theme.
Let me see if there's anything about botches. Are they called botches in this?
I think so.
No, it's
Fumble.
fumble.
Failures.
Fumble.
This starts on page 40,
Okay.
and it creates an opportunity for the opponent.
Right. But then there's a spending Fabula points is on page 97. Okay, Katie, I'm going to feed you. Come on.
Priorities.
The result is a fumble, which is the exact opposite of a critical success. No matter the modifiers, a fumble check is always a failure, not due to the character's incompetence, but because of some unfortunate twist.
It says you cannot invoke a trait if your character fumbled the check.
Where does it say that?
Page 46. Because you have to invoke a trait to re-roll the dice.
Yeah.
So she's just got to eat the fumble.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Which
But I
means
Fabula point at least.
But I do gain a Fabula point. Yes, correct.
you do gain a Fabula point, and the creature can create an opportunity. I'm going to give it a +4 to try and eat you.
Oh.
All right. So you slip on the fish slurry and the mucus and other stuff in the guts as everyone else hoofs it away ahead of you at high speed. Your wounds must have weakened you. At least that's your excuse.
Or made her sound tasty or smell tasty to the thing.
I rolled a 4, so I'm right down there with her, but you know.
Right. So it's might and insight. What is your physical defense?
11.
Which I get. So that is.
This is why I need more better armor.
Yeah, but that just slows you down. It reduces your initiative.
That's why I need elven armor.
Okay, take 16 health of damage, and you are knocked prone. But you
Okay.
already were, so you're even more prone. Right, this thing comes surging up behind you, growling, and hits into you like a slightly soggy, bouncy castle, and covers over your back with its gooey membrane. Everywhere where it's touching you, you can feel something soaking through your clothing and your skin burning beneath.
Ow.
Okay.
So I guess you're in combat with it. Does anyone want to stop or?
I do.
Yes, I turn
Well-
around and engage with Magisphere.
Okay. Well, first we need an initiative roll. So whoever's leading needs to
June?
make a roll, and then everyone else, it's difficulty 8.
June, this is your bacon, man. I think you should be taking the lead here.
Well, plus, yeah, Devlin and Quinn are up top now. So
Yeah. So let's have Jun make the main initiative roll, and then anyone who's dashing back to help can roll their initiative.
I'm still
Difficulty
down
8.
there. So
Yeah.
What
I
was
never
the
left.
number? I'm sorry, it was 7, you said?
Difficulty 8.
8. Okay, yep, 8.
Okay. So what did Jun get for initiative?
June, you're muted, my friend. Or you ran away.
Or it swallowed you whole and you ran out of health?
I got 9 to fly back and help her.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Kitty. I got distracted trying to save somebody.
Oh, kitty.
Meow.
You might want to just make a decision there, Grim.
We'll say you go first to give Jun slightly longer without.
Sorry,
being-
I'm back. I had these
Okay.
restrooms.
Roll your initiative.
Okay. Initiative is Dex plus Dex, so that's D8 plus D8. 11.
Okay, yeah. So your side goes first, and might be an idea for Jun to go first.
Okay.
So you're
I hate to do this, but I may have to use fire because it seems like everything in this area of this whale location.
What?
well. Go for it.
Yeah. Okay, so I am going to cast Flare on the monster.
Okay.
So that's 20 magic points, and temperature is so high that it'll pierce through most defenses, ignores resistances, and target suffers high roll plus 25 fire damage. And that for me is what's my magic roll? It's insight plus willpower. So
And its
Insight.
magical defense is 13.
okay, let's see if I can beat that. I cannot beat that because I just rolled a 9.
Do you want to spend some Fabula points?
Yes, I do.
And do you have an appropriate trait?
Hope, as always. Hope that I can survive again.
I guess your life is under threat, so I hope that you can survive is applicable, if somewhat cheesy.
Well, it is a
All right,
JRPG.
Reroll 1 or both dice.
It was the real treasure we found inside the belly of the beast all along.
That is another failure because I just rolled a 7. That's even less than what I got before.
Do you want to try again?
Yes, I do.
Okay, spend another Fabula point. Don't forget to remember how many Fabula points you've spent.
Okay. And that's 1d8 plus 1d6. Let's see if I can do this. That's even less than what I got before. It's a 6 now.
Do you want to keep trying?
No, I don't.
Okay. So you try to cast your spell, and as you do so, this thing engulfs you more in its rubbery flesh, and you're unable to make the appropriate gestures, and your head gets knocked down into the slimy digestive juices, and that throws off your incantation. Abracadabra. Oh, it went on my nose. Okay, so it's go. It continues to try to digest Jun.
Quinn,
Right.
help!
Help. Might insight. What is your physical defense? It was 11, wasn't it?
Yep, 11.
Okay. Yeah, it just kind of wobbles uselessly atop you, like the world's most aggressive blancmange.
Great. All right,
Blancmange days.
Okay, who's next?
Me.
So,
I'm definitely me.
oh, go then, go. If you got it, do it. Because I'm fucking struggling here about what to do.
Okay, well, I'm not. So I'm going to cast Magic Flush because I have 4 cards of the same suit thanks to this Joker. So I deal damage equal to 25 plus the total value of the cards, and it is ice damage. So 43 points of ice damage to every enemy on the scene, present on the scene.
Okay.
I just burned through 20 mana real fast right there.
All right. So yeah, you draw out your cards into the air. They fizzle, and a huge blast of cold energy strikes down the creature's gullet and strikes this big wobbly white thing. Frost forms all over its surface. It quivers slightly, and the ice breaks and shatters. You think it looks slightly smaller, but despite being an expressionless blob, it seems quite angry.
I made it mad.
All right, who's next?
All right, well, I'll hit it now with I have a Magisphere now that I'm 10th level total. So it's 8 and 8. Does 10 hit?
Is it a magical? It's a magical attack, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a magical attack.
You need 13 or more to hit.
Oh no, shit. Magical attack. Oh wow.
Okay. So yeah, it misses or bounces off it. And it continues to vibrate and trying to digest Jun. But it is only one beast, so anyone else?
So I went. Let's see. I went up above, so I'm assuming I'd be out of the combat.
Yeah, me and Drakon had to fly back down.
Yeah. So anyone heading back will arrive next turn.
Yeah, we're on the way down. So
yeah. All right. So I think that's everyone then. So a new turn.
All right, gonna discard 2 and pick up 2 more.
Right. Coming up behind this blob, you see a second pristine, uninjured white blob wobbling its way up the digestive tract towards you. So when they press past each other, it looks like you're being attacked by a giant pale white bum. All right, but you had initiative, so who wants to go first? Jun, trying to get free or cast flare again? Or
I want to try to get through this time. I don't want to cast flare. Yeah.
Can I possibly help you?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Okay. I got 2 7s here, so I'm gonna go ahead and cast a pair. It's a magic pair though, so it says perform a free attack with a weapon I've equipped, and if this attack deals damage, choose a suit amongst those of the resolved cards, and all damage dealt by that attack becomes one of the type matching the suit. Let me see. In this case, I have a choice between fire and earth. Ice just seemed to annoy it. So let me make my attack and try earth damage, because why not? Nobody's ever tried to use earth damage against anything, as far as I know. Let me see. It's
I did earlier.
Oh, yeah?
I did. My very first blast was earth, and it was no big deal.
Right, then it's fire, then.
fire.
Fire. Does a 9 hit?
Physical attack? No, it's
Yeah.
magic, isn't it? Oh, no, it's magic with a physical attack, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's how that works. Its physical defense is only 8, so that's a hit.
Good.
How
Okay,
much
so...
damage?
All right, so it's HR plus 1, so that makes that 8 points of damage, but it's 8 points of fire damage.
What do I need to roll to escape?
When it's your action.
Okay.
It does not seem to like the fire. The surface of it blackens, like when you over toast a marshmallow. It sort of blackens and cracks open, and goo starts to spurt out, and its growl turns into more of a squeal. If it had been a stronger blow, it would have been more serious, but it definitely doesn't like fire. That was with your wok, was it? Bash it with your wok.
No, that was with my chef's knife.
Okay. Right.
Should have been the wok. It would have done more damage.
All right. So the one on top of Jun continues trying to digest her. You can feel yourself slowly being engulfed. Shout out to the Vor fans in the crowd. It's a hit. Take 18 health of damage.
Okay.
And now who wants to go? Jun, probably. Try to get free.
Yes. Do I take the 18 damage, or does Neil take the 18 damage?
You take the 18 damage.
Okay, just making sure.
All right, to pull free of the thing and get back up on your feet, make a might roll.
Okay.
What the hell?
Oh dear.
Giant dice.
I got double nines, total of 18.
All right, you drag yourself free of the thing with sticky, drooling strands coming from your back. The back of your kimono has been dissolved away like a hospital gown.
This will become a new style for people in this world.
Peekaboo kimonos. Yep. All right, who wants to go next?
I would like to go next. I'm going to use my next Magi Sphere with Dispel, but I'm going to spend an Ultima point to use that Dispel to hit this creature, and since it seems to have a high magic defense, I'm hoping that it's magical and will be horribly effective.
Okay. So you're spending a Fabula point to use the Dispel effect to essentially, story-wise, weaken its magical defense. Okay, we can do that. If you hit it.
Okay. And that was a 7.
That's a miss.
1. No, 8.
That's still a miss.
God.
So the sphere bounces off its rubbery skin, even though it's blackened and crispy in a few places, and ricochets off down the tunnel.
Yeah.
Right. The second creature surges forward past the first one in pursuit of Jun, then stops, quivers, and sends out a bioelectric pulse.
Oh no.
So Jun and Niall are in range of its effect. That's insight and willpower. If 15 beats either of your magical defenses,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
definitely.
You take no damage, but you get no action next turn. You're stunned.
Uh-oh.
I don't suppose I could blow a Fabula point to negate that or somehow stop it? Because I really need to do my action next turn.
Do you have any traits that would make you resistant to stun? Or
Well, I do have loyalty and affection to June.
yeah, spend a Fabula point and you draw on reserves of willpower and inner strength to force your body to respond. Jun, however, is stunned.
Is it our attack?
All right, who's up next?
Is it our attack now?
Yeah.
And the new round hasn't started yet.
That's what I was asking if the new round has started.
I still need to go.
Yep.
Well, there we go then.
It's 13.
What were you doing? Sorry.
I'm hacking into one of these white things.
Okay. So you charge forward through the fading remnants of the electromagnetic pulse and hack at this blackened creature. Right. What did you roll to hit?
13.
That's a hit. How much damage?
That is a 13.
Okay. When you hack through it, you see the outer skin sort of get pierced and torn, and then the inner clear goo sort of starts to ooze out, and then the wound closes up again and sucks that stuff back in. It's not regenerating, and you are harming it. It's just very, very resilient.
Oh, okay. Lovely. It's going to take a while.
Yeah. And your
Darren.
blade is now covered in goo.
Zarin, your glyph is 3 times per scene. When you take damage, you can redirect half of that damage as HP healed to an ally in the same zone. So you can
Yeah,
be
I just haven't got taken damage yet.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I thought you were. Oh,
Yeah.
you were like not eating damage. It wasn't even getting through. Sorry.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
All right. So everyone is now on scene. So everyone can participate now. But behind these 2 blobs comes a third one, oozing its way up the passage.
Grim just didn't think the first encounter was dangerous enough.
He didn't
No.
get out of the way.
Yeah, Devlin is still up top though.
Yeah. I will remind you that running away is obviously an option, at least if
We're
Jun can
trying to
stop
run
being-
away.
If Jun can stop being stunned or
Eaten.
knocked down.
Yeah.
So are we? Is it our go for our guys first?
It's your go first.
So if you let me go first, guys, I will get June out of there.
Go.
So I'll grab June, and Drakon can grab someone else if somebody else wants to be grabbed.
Neil is the one closest to the fighting.
Meow, do you want to be grabbed?
Well, then I would ask you to withhold your action and let me go before you.
Well, I'm worried about June, but Drakon has to go at the same time as me.
So
you
then,
you want Bao to go? Yeah, you want to get picked
Oh,
up?
I can heal. I'm going to heal June for 40.
I can do that too.
wait. Okay, everybody's trying to go first.
No,
Let
I'm just-
me actually go first. Then Quinn can grab June and I, and then Bao can follow up and go heal June.
Perfect.
Yeah,
All
see, it works. There's some tactical.
Okay. So meow first.
Meow is going to throw down double trouble. So damage equal to 10 plus the highest value amongst the cards, which unfortunately is a 4. So it's 14 points of damage to each of up to 2 different enemies that are present on the scene, and it is fire damage.
Okay, so that's 14, which is
Also, before that, I did have to blow some inventory points and chug a magic potion. There's no, it doesn't take an action to do that, apparently.
that's free action to chug a potion.
Okay.
All right, so that is 28 damage to each because they're vulnerable to fire.
Hey.
All right. Twin blasts of fire hurtle out from Niel's hand and strike the first 2 gooey white orbs as they sort of ooze over each other to try and get at the rest of you. They recoil, shrieking from the flames, but don't seem to be dead yet. Damn them.
Damn them.
And there you go. So one of them lurches forward and continues to try to dissolve Jun, reattaching to her back. So that is inside.
Oh my god, 3 6s.
That's a hit.
Actually, I'm
Right.
going to use protect.
Okay.
And it can attack me.
Okay, so it rolled 11 against you, which I don't think is enough to beat your armor, is it?
Nope.
All right. So there's a blur of motion, and Zerin comes in behind Jun, and the thing slaps against him and takes some of the varnish off his armor, but nothing else. All right. You
So
guys
Quinn,
go.
Yeah, so Quinn will fly down, grab June, and grab Niall, and get both of them up to the top out of here. And that just leaves Zarin and Bao behind.
So you two are grabbed under the arms and flown away faster than these things can ooze up the digestive tunnel. So that leaves Zerin and Bao. Right.
Yep.
Okay. The second singed blob turns its attention to Zerin as he's the closest and completely fails to penetrate his armor. So yeah, you've got two of these things pressing in on you, but they're not getting through your armor. They're trying to push in through the joints and stuff to get at your skin, but they're not quite flexible enough. Who's next?
I'm going to be next because we've decided, obviously, to play with fire now. So you know what that means.
You gotta blow stuff up.
Time for the napalm, dragon's napalm. What was it? 12 to hit? No.
It's a physical attack, isn't it?
Physical attack.
So you only need 8.
Oh, well, then I hit. So this does 30 fire with a persistent effect that applies burning to all targets for 1d4, 5 burning.
Okay.
Continue
So I
burning.
assume.
So it does.
Chemical burns don't give a shit because napalm sticks to kids.
So it burns for 5 per turn for 1d4 turns, right?
After the initial 30.
Yeah.
Correct.
Now, I assume you don't want to set fire to Zerin.
Correct. So I'm trying to hit the aft end of it.
Trying to hit the other two. Okay. All right. So, yeah, the bomb strikes into them and shatters and ignites, and a huge gout of chemical fire engulfs a couple of them. They shriek as their skins blacken and flake away, but they're not dead yet. The fire also burns the muscular side of the tunnel, which convulses in a sort of peristaltic. Blech. Anyone who's not flying and is still in the digestive tunnel, so I think that's just Zerin and Bao.
Mm-hmm.
Can you make dex rolls to keep your footing? Difficulty 13.
Boy, 12.
13 exactly.
Okay, so Zerin manages to stay upright, while this huge sort of pulse of spasming muscle goes around you, and a loud groan of pain echoes through the entire beast.
So I still have a movement, right? I can have Portent pick me up and run away. I'm basically riding Portent, so...
Yeah, can you roll for Portent to stay upright, though, as well?
Yeah, because that's a different... Oh, no, that is the same number. And he does the same.
Okay, so you're both knocked over. All right. So the third blob also decides to pick on Zerin, despite the fruitlessness of it so far. And rolls poorly. So, yeah. It's like Nelson on The Simpsons playing American football, just dragging the other kids along behind. All right, new turn. They take burning damage. One of them goes out. The other one doesn't. Right, and who wants to go first, Zerin or Bao?
I'll go ahead and go first.
Okay. Do you want to
I'm
just
gonna hack.
pull free and run? Or?
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay. Can you make a might roll, please?
It's an 18.
Not a problem at all. You peel yourself away from them, like their old sellotape that's lost its stick, and start jogging back up the tunnel. Hopefully, Bao will join you. They pursue, but they're too slow. So they're roughly drawing level to Bao. If Bao doesn't get out of here, he's about to be, gangbanged by 3 macro scale white blood cells. What do you want to do?
Quinn and Drakon are flying back.
So, can I still shoot them from sitting on my ass with another napalm?
You can.
All right, so I'm going to spend 2 inventory points and do that. I have 1 free and it's on a bandolier, and then after that I have to spend 4. Oh, cool. So now I get a 13.
Okay. There's another fiery explosion, and they are engulfed in flames. 2 of them completely burn away. The last one is severely injured. Right, they used their actions to try and catch up, but that one probably can still get an attack. So what is
intercedes? Oh wait, they were all down. So how does that work? We fell. Now what happens? I shot him from my butt. Porton's laying, got knocked prone. How does it work? What is the mechanic?
Spend your move action to get up.
All right, so Porton spends its move action to get up. I'll spend my move action to get up.
And then
That's
you did
it.
your
I
attack.
can't attack. Yeah, I can't attack with Porton, but you can still think the attack.
He could skip his attack, and he could grab you and move for his second action.
Yeah, he doesn't have an attack because I've already used.
Yeah, he's got to. He's the same thing as Drakon. He's got to do something when we do something.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So he grabs you around the waist and drags you backwards.
Correct.
All right. In which case, the one remaining cellular thing tries a bioelectric pulse to try and knock you out. So that's insight and willpower. Okay. Well, if 18 beats your magical defense, you're stunned.
Oh, I'm stunned.
Unless you've got a Fabula point and a trait that would be applicable to making you resistant to being stunned.
Just a second. Well, I'm going to spend a Fabula point because this isn't just chaos; it's art.
That's kind of thin.
Well, you do have a well-established fascination with fire and explosions. So,
all right.
Okay,
Well, I have another one.
Go on then.
Let me see. Well, right. I mean, these are my traits. All right. Everything can be beautiful once it explodes. This isn't chaos; it's art. This isn't chaos; it's rhythm. A bomb's just a song that doesn't wait for applause. But the final biggie that I'm always holding on to is make it beautiful, even if it breaks. His mother's last word.
Yeah. Yeah, he has nothing defensive in there. It's all about blowing the other fucker up. You gotta be kidding.
What traits does Robot Boy have?
He's stunned.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to spend a point, and I'm going to use because part of my backstory is I failed my king, and I just won't quit. Besides that, I'm a revenant, so
Yeah.
It's a dead guy.
Yeah. Everyone knows he's not going down.
All right. But between Quinn, Drakon, and everything else, I think you'll be able to yank Bao and his robot buddy out on this turn.
Yeah,
and it's you guys
me
just go first.
Yeah, me and Drakon will just grab Bow and fly away, and it just leaves.
All right. They will probably still pursue you, but you should have enough room now to get away. So, dragging your loot behind you, you make your ways onto the shore of the Great Stomach Lake and quickly into the vessel that's pushed back down onto the acid.
Where I cast my triple support spell from my deck.
Do you want to use your ingredients?
No, I'm going to use triple support because I have 3 cards of the same value. So me and every ally present on the scene regain an amount of hit points and mind points equal to the total value of the resolved cards multiplied by 3. So everybody can get 54 health points and mind points back.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes. So a sprinkle of pixie dust and everyone feels a lot better as the boatman punts you out across the lake of stomach acid back towards Marrow Point. All
Does Jim
right.
need her healing? I can hit her with a heal from my last Hedgie.
Well, no, because
He just did it.
yeah.
I just did it.
I thought I was asking, did
Yeah.
you need more? I didn't know.
No,
where
no,
you
no,
were.
no, no.
Well, that's a ton.
No, yeah. I don't need any more at all.
All right.
So the cards don't cost inventory points like the food does?
No, the cards cost magic points.
Oh, okay.
However, I just spent magic points to regain magic points.
Yeah.
All right. Let's take 10 or 15 minute break there.
Oh, yeah.
All right, sounds good.
Any
15
preference?
is good. 15.
15.
We'll be back in 15 or so to resolve, hopefully, exiting the beast. See you then. And we're back, hopefully.
I'm back.
I'm back.
I'm here.
Hello.
Things around.
People finishing their snacky snacks.
Hoi hoi.
Oh, there's some smokes.
So we make it back to the ship or the raft or whatever.
We'll give you a minute. I think that was 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Close.
Yeah.
I didn't pay attention.
So once we get back to the raft, it's kind of
I'm
Niel's
just not
show,
hearing
right?
anybody. That's what the problem is. Why am I not hearing anyone?
You got to
Oh.
reset your stuff. Hi, Grim.
Hello,
You can't hear us, can you?
hello.
Grim.
Now I hear you.
Hello. All right.
Okay.
Here we go.
I don't know what happened there. I didn't switch my headset off or anything, so that was a bit peculiar.
Just had a fart.
Yeah.
So once we get back to the raft or whatever it is and the ship, it's kind of all Niel's show, right? Because
Yes,
he's got the plan.
he has the plan for the ultimate recipe.
Yes.
And now you've got all the ingredients you need, including a couple of boxes of spices and rum in bottles that survived being digested. Yeah, everything you need to make your fantastical... What was the idea? Was it to poison it or to get it to throw you up or shit you out?
Well,
Shit us
technically, one would do all of those things.
Yeah. It was to throw us up and shoot us all out.
Or kill it and...
All right. Well, the survivors back at Marrow Point.
I have a question
Yes.
about the plant. What happens if we just kill it? I mean, we're stuck inside. We need it to. We need to exit.
Yes, that's why it's supposed to throw us up. But we got to wait for it. We're all basically waiting on Niel. This is all his show right now.
But he just said he was
Yeah.
going to kill it.
Well, he said it might kill it, but that's the
Well,
risk.
He has to learn to make a bad dish, which is the true challenge.
Okay, might
this is the true
kill it.
challenge.
Yes, it needs to throw us up, but it could kill the beast, and if it does, then we got all other kinds of problems.
Yeah.
Right. That's where I was gonna go. Is so. What if it kills it and it doesn't throw us up?
Well, then we got another problem.
Yes,
And then
I
it
like
starts-
what June says. Yes, explosive dying diarrhea. Yes.
I can't
No,
hear
we
you.
don't like that. Actually, no, that would be bad.
No, we want to. I mean, yeah. The other direction seems.
Yeah,
okay.
we'd
We
rather go
want,
out the
we
front
want,
way.
we want. Fuck what you want. I came up with this project. This is my plan.
Yeah.
Who's chef?
All right.
Who's the chef?
yes,
Who's the
chef.
chef?
Yes, chef. Yes,
Okay,
chef.
so
All right.
let's all shut up
They-
and let Niel talk.
So, yeah,
So-
we'll start whipping up the special cocktail of Leviathan killing
I
slash
thought that was
eating.
he's got the hat.
The Admiral and the survivors have got together every pot, every pan, every bit of wood that can be burnt to cook up this vat of noxious poison for you.
Mhm.
So, and have recruited runners to run and fetch you things as you need them. So yeah, it is all your show.
Yeah, well, it doesn't say there's any other special instructions for doing a project. It's just, just takes time and money.
I
Yes,
can help.
and we have money, so now it's going to take a long time to cut all the onions, put it that way. Projects.
This is going to give it heartburn like it's never felt in its entire life.
Am I allowed to help and use my Tinker project stuff?
Are you a gourmet?
That's why I can do projects. That's why I'm asking. And projects are allowed to have helpers, and sometimes the skills that helpers have carry over.
Yeah, I think everyone can help.
If I spend 10 mind points, can I use multi on the onions?
Yes. Okay. At the end of each day, the project advances as follows: +1 progress for each player character who worked on the project. +1 extra progress for every player character with 1 or more levels in the appropriate class who worked on the project.
Yeah.
So,
I'm the only gourmet.
Now, do you remember what the effect was? It was a major effect, I think.
Yeah, it was a major effect because it had to be something really big because it was a permanent effect. It's a consumable effect.
Yeah.
And it was I think we determined it was a huge area and a major thing. So
yeah. So for
Yeah, it was the second largest one on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Because we're basically trying to destroy something that's like,
Yeah.
I don't know how big this thing is, but
huge. You can hire helpers or have helpers. Doesn't seem to require roles at all, which is a bit rare.
Well, you could just have Meow roll.
No, I don't have to. It's just you start projects to create unique foods and drinks. They're always consumable, and their area is based on the number and type of creatures you need to nourish. I need to nourish something that's this big.
I understand that, but I meant for the effect of it, whether it makes them ill or has them upchuck or kills it or whatever, right?
I mean, it's a project. It's a permanent. Like, Grim is the one who told me it's permanent, so it's kind of like it's gonna die.
Yeah. Okay, so how long is it going to take then? So that is...
You have to reach the amount of progress equal to 1 for every 100 zenith of material costs, and it was like, how much it was? 150,000 zenith?
1,500. 1,500.
Yeah. So
15
days.
Okay. So, well, each day you, as the chef, provide 2 levels of progress. Then every other player character who helps, presuming that's everybody.
Yep.
1, 2, 3,
4, 5.
Yeah.
So
that's...
I have a mechanics question then. Do these projects supersede the projects on 134?
No.
Then I can help him as a tinker.
It's not a tinkerer project. It's a chef project.
It's a gourmet project.
That's what I asked, and that's not how projects are written.
We're using it. We're doing it as a project, but it's within his wheelhouse as a chef.
Different class.
It's a different class. Yeah. Remember, the gourmet class hadn't been made when this core book came out.
But you can still help by making, I don't know, mechanical mixers, adding some alchemical ingredients, stuff like that. So that's your contribution.
Even if it's just, watch that pot, make sure it doesn't overboil.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, so with the NPCs helping as well.
It's about 2.5 days.
Yeah.
Just the PCs alone.
Yeah. So about 2 days to get everything together and cooked and rendered down, and you end up with 1 cauldron full of extremely strong smelling stuff.
I was gonna say that June probably uses her elementalism to keep the fire burning or something.
Hey Quinn, you want to come taste this? No, I'm just kidding. Don't.
You've combined every home remedy you can think of for making people throw up poison or shit it out. Stuff that will really swab the decks when you take it.
We call this Project Ipecac.
Yes.
That's
Bow's
the name
contributed some
I
of
was
his.
trying to remember.
Bow's contributed some of his alchemical stuff. Everyone remembers particularly horrible and nasty foods and things that they've consumed at one point or another. And you have this vat of stuff. So the Admiral orders everyone to get ready. Once they finished helping you with the cooking, they've cobbled together as many of their bits that they've got left into some sort of sky raft, hoping it will survive. The Admiral asks you to load as many people as possible onto your ship and onto your flying restaurant, because those definitely fly, and they're not too sure about the other stuff they've got, whether that will fly or not.
How many people are there? How many people are there on the?
There were about 100.
Shouldn't we just be able to get that all on our ship?
It would be very, very crowded, but you should just about be able to squeeze everybody
Yeah,
in.
because I mean, even if they make the sky raft, it'd be better if no one was actually on it and it was just sort of like with us in case it gets trashed. And then once we get out, then we can transfer people back onto it once we're like free of the thing. And that way it risks less lives.
Someone needs to spend a Fabula point to guarantee success.
I'll do it since it's my mix.
Okay. Note down there you spent the point. All right. So
I spent 2.
Everyone's on board, but someone has to tip it into the creature's guts.
Do you want me to?
That would
do
probably
it?
be. That would probably be Devlin, since he has the best accuracy out of all of us.
What I was going to say is, but I can fly, so you guys could leave, and I can.
I don't think you can carry
Up
this.
to you.
It's a burning hot cauldron. I don't think you can carry it in your little wee hands.
Drakon can. He's the strongest one in this crew.
And he's fireproof.
Yes, and he flies.
Yeah, he could probably just about carry it.
Because that way you guys are all moving and safely away, and then I can catch up to you.
That works.
All right. So everyone piles onto the ship or into the restaurant. Everywhere is crowded with these poor, stinky people who've lived inside the guts of a sky whale for God knows how long.
We stink too at this point.
Yes, you very much do, especially June. Fortunately, the panties of iciness keep the smell down a little bit. All right. Drakon grabs the cauldron in his claws and flies out with some difficulty, flapping his wings extra hard out over the creature's stomach, closer to its digestive hole. And then on the signal from Quinn, he opens his claws and then rapidly flies back towards you. The cauldron hits with a loud splash that you can hear even all this distance away with the ship running. The stuff disseminates its way through the creature's stomach, and then the sphincter opens and some other stuff washes down inside it. The world
about to be
seems
hit with the power of flavor.
Welcome to Flavor Town, bitch. There's a loud growl and then a pained sort of noise. You hear its stomach growl and seethe, and bubbles rise to the surface below you. It starts to smell a lot more acidic, and the hairs on your nose start to singe. The walls convulse. A big gust of foul air washes up from the thing's guts as it belches.
Let this be your lesson, Bao. Never piss off the chef.
Would you care for a bow button? And then, with sudden and horrendous violence, the sky whale goes dry heaves a couple of times. The ship gets tossed and thrown about a bit, and then suddenly blinding sunlight comes in through its mouth as it hurls. You are washed forward by the massive tidal wave of stomach juices and foulness that splashes all over the ship and all over the restaurant. You're going to have to close and scrub that for a while.
Oh yeah.
But your vessel and the sky raft are hurled out of the whale in this huge titanic rush of vomitus as you spin out of it, out of control, with various sirens and things and warning lights flashing on the ship. You spin around and around, getting brief views of the thing as it is trying to gulp down air and rise up out of the clouds. Then there's another loud gurgle, and a huge cloud of diarrhea erupts from its rear end.
Ah.
The smell practically peels the skin off your teeth, even at this distance, as this huge cloud of brown foulness spreads out in all directions.
Does Bow's treasure sense go off when he starts shit?
Yes. You see a few shipwrecks fly out as well.
More like shit wrecks.
Shipwrecks, yes. Very good. Right. Then it tries to dive down, thinking maybe it can get comfort down there in the clouds instead, because rising up didn't help. And then it hurls and shits itself again, leaving a huge brown plume across the clouds. You see its guts kind of crumple in on itself as it ejects from both directions. And then it loses control and spirals down beneath the clouds. You hear one last titanic from beneath the clouds, and some of them erupt upwards, and then it's gone, seemingly forever.
They never did.
Let this be written of and spoken of in legends. I, Niall Rogeros, have made a leviathan shit itself to death.
But what does that say about your cooking now? It's going to exactly help the restaurant.
True.
So
All
at the
right.
very end, do we hear someone go, "Not again"?
You didn't turn into a thing of petunias.
We don't know what happened once he went down underneath the.
Oh, I think we do. We heard it.
When I managed to catch up to the ship, since I sort of got flung out on my own, covered in that goop, I take my hat and go to Niall. I don't want to be a cook anymore. That's gross.
Well, it's normally not this bad, but sometimes, tough situations and hard customers, you have to teach a lesson.
Let's see. He doesn't want to be a captain. He doesn't want to be a pirate anymore. He doesn't want to be a cook. What's left? A tinkerer?
Oh God, no. He's not going to want to be a knight because, Darren's already dead.
June could teach him how to be a warrior mage, maybe.
Well, he'll figure it out on his own. He's a growing boy. They go through fads. You know how it is.
You're a growing boy.
A ragged cheer goes up from the survivors, and they shower you with trinkets and whatever few coins they managed to keep over the years they've been in the thing's guts. And one of your crew, your anonymous sailor crew, comes in with handfuls of whale vomit and goes, "Ambergris! Precious ambergris!"
Hey, where's that one-legged bastard that got us into this?
You don't know. One of the crew mentions idly he saw him jumping overboard as the whale was throwing up.
Damn it.
That bastard.
But look at this. We now have enough potential volunteers to crew a second ship.
This is true. And the treasures and ambergris they gave you is worth about 2,000 zenith. And when you return to the station where you picked up the job, the innkeep has been holding Vox money for you and forks it over because there's so many witnesses. So you've made 3,000 zenit back.
That's
Each
3,000
or
split.
total?
Yeah,
Total.
Oh, damn it.
Okay. Yeah.
we're all still
Well-
broke, basically.
And to bring it up, we do still owe the salvage lead about 1,000 zenits.
No, we don't.
We don't.
No.
We never did.
You only actually owe people money when they show up demanding it with menaces. Otherwise,
Oh.
it's free money.
So that's 500 zenit apiece. Enjoy.
Oh. I bet
All
I
right.
could buy a crap book for that.
All right. So are we actually splitting it up this time then?
I don't know. I
I'm
was
taking.
doing just fine the way it was before.
Well,
Sure you
it's
did.
fine. Let's split it up.
Okay, 500. Awesome.
That way everyone can remember their own money this time.
Yeah.
So let's fly the ship somewhere with a lot of water so we can all get cleaned off.
I think I agree with you on that.
A nice
Let's fly into one of
spot,
those.
maybe, you know.
Let's find a nice rain cloud to fly through for a bit.
That's we
Maybe
do that in the Navy. We decide, let's do a freshwater washdown, and everything's all crusty and salty. Then we'd start looking for rainstorms.
That's really cool.
Where's the rules for accessories? I just want to look something up.
Yeah, I was just wondering, like, any cool things we recovered out of all of that stuff.
Yeah, it's just little oddments. Nothing special, really.
If this was Numenera, there'd be special rules for oddments and types of oddments you get as an adventurer.
Yeah.
I remember
some
you saying a candlestick. You wouldn't have said candlestick if there wasn't a special reason to say candlestick.
I imagine Devlin probably has grabbed some little trinkets or something. He kind of hang off his belt that jingle and kind of make noise when he steps.
Yeah. Accessories. Okay. Anyone who doesn't have a trinket yet can choose when you sell the ambergris to get a special magical perfume made from it. If you wear the perfume, which takes up your accessory slot, it makes you resistant to poison.
Really cool.
And you smell like a tart's window box. All right. So how many Fabula points were spent by people during that session?
I spent 3.
I spent 2.
Bow spent 2.
I spent
7,
one.
10, 11.
8.
How many did Quinn spend?
Sorry, 1.
9.
12. And you spent? How many did Neil spend?
2.
Okay, so that's 14. So everyone gets 7 experience points.
Awesome.
Nice.
And we had zeroed everyone out. So everyone has 7 experience points, including people that weren't here. All right. So, yeah, unfortunately, my back is really killing me. So I want to call it quits there. That way we can start a brand new adventure from the very start next time.
Yeah.
So
Very exciting.
Or for me.
Wonderful.
All right, fantastic. Thanks to people watching out there. Yeah, how many? About 70 people this week, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
And I don't think I get to see who is watching on other people's channels. So, oh no, I do. But yeah, nice. We seem to have a nice little audience. They just don't say much, but that's fine. All right. See you Tuesday for Dungeons and Discussions. Do we have a topic,
Yes.
or are we just
9
gonna?
a.m. I
Ramble?
haven't thought of anything in particular. So,
Okay.
but if you come up with
so-
something between now and then, let me know.
How
Yeah.
about the Heartbreaker RPGs?
What?
What?
The Heartbreaker RPGs. The ones you want to love, but
Heartbreaker?
they
Oh.
Heartbreaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. That might be interesting, but
Might
it's
be.
not really a thing anymore the way it used to be.
Yeah.
We'd have to kind of explain what a heartbreaker is and then go through
Yep.
it.
I am not sure if Goat is going to be rejoining us or not. I asked her to, but she was like, "Oh, I'm coming back on Tuesday," and I said, "Well, if you wish." I mean,
Yeah, I think she's got a good voice in the community, and she's a bit disheartened from her own channel. So
yeah.
give her a chance.
Yeah.
All right. Anyone else got any announcements or anything before we go? Do you want to tell anyone your socials or anything? No.
Nope.
Yes,
I'm
dude.
not a very social person.
Catch me on my channel, T-shirt Historian, on YouTube, because I need the subs.
Woo.
We can all use them, so come on by Fire and Caster. Monday nights we do Mech Pit chat, talk about big robots, we talk about pop culture. Who knows what we'll talk about? Get into tomorrow.
Cool.
I don't stream very much other than these streams. I stream them on my channel as well, but if you're going to follow me there and subscribe, that'd be really nice. But I'll try and, if I get more subscribers, at least 2 more, I will start streaming again.
Awesome. All right. Good night, everyone. See ya.
Nighty night.
Night.
Bye.
Hey guys.